Today we're going to take a look at repairing the reload mechanism on this Nerf laser tag gun. Now this kind of gets a bit stiff to push down, making it quite difficult in a battle when you're trying to reload. Now there's a mechanism inside here which could do with a bit of maintenance. So first take out the battery pack, which I've already done, then locate all the screws. There's quite a lot, one here and here, all around here. Smaller ones there, which you need to take care of. Some of these are in quite deep, so you'll need a screwdriver that can reach that far. Trickiest ones are up here, which I didn't notice at first. So right down in there is a smaller screw and another one down in there. You might have trouble reaching those. I had to cut away one of my screwdrivers slightly to get rid of this plastic housing, just to give it enough reach to get in there. The other thing you might find on yours is this sight being glued together. It doesn't look like this one's glued, but certainly on the other, the blue version of this, we had a blob of glue that we had to get a screwdriver right into there, into the crack, and then twist the screwdriver a bit to crack that glue apart. So we'll get inside it now. Just a bit of a wiggle. Now, it's starting to come apart. I think this is still the problem. So let me go and get a screwdriver. Okay, so I've got a small flathead screwdriver now. So what I'm going to try and do is just pull that apart slightly and then jam this into here. Just give that a quick wiggle. Oh, there we go. And obviously you only have to do that time. Next time you do this, if you need to sort this out, it'll be all right. So we're going to just lift that off now. Just be careful. Okay, so now we're in. The bit that you need to do a bit of maintenance on is here. So you'll see that this mechanism, just bring it around slightly, there is a wedge down at the bottom. So when you press the orange reload mechanism, this twists and then pushes this down. And you'll probably be able to feel that it's a little bit stiff, and that's the problem. So what you'll need to do is take the cover off this and just put a little bit of oil inside. So we'll do that now. Okay, so we'll take that cover off, just put that at the side. And here's that mechanism. Now, you'll see that there's a tiny spring in there. So you just leave it sort of half in and half out at one end. And this is the bit that just needs a bit of work on it. So I would suggest just getting a tiny bit of oil, pop that in a dish, and then get a cotton bud and put the oil, just a thin layer, onto here. So down the edges where it's making contact. Like that. You don't need a lot. And that should be enough. Then all we need to do, I would probably suggest doing the same to this little wedge as well. You can just see it there. Now what we can do is pull that in slightly, and there we can get at it. So that goes in there, and then that's easy to fit back in. You could put a little bit on here, just so it slides past nicely, but you could probably do that without taking it out, so we'll just pop that back in. There we go. Oh no. Okay, so that's in. I would also suggest doing it on this cover. So let's just put a little bit, maybe a bit too much on there, just on here. There. Right, put that that side and pop this back on. Right. Oh. You need to push that in and then just slide it down until it hits where the spring is. There, I felt the spring. Hold that in place. And put this cover back on. And let's do it the right way around. There. So you can check that that works before you screw that in. So let's get that back on and get the case back on. One thing you need to make sure is that these little bits of metal need to be in place, because that's where the battery caddy sits. And I've also made a bit of a mess of this, so I need to take that apart and just realign that. Okay, so that's back into place. Now that took some doing compared to the other one. This was all out of alignment, so that's all back in. The top one had popped out as well. So it helps to have the other gun to refer to, just check over. But now that is super easy to press, which is just like it was when we first got it. So relatively easy fix, a little bit fiddly if something goes out of alignment when you're trying to snap it all back together. But in general, quite an easy one. You get that done in about 10 or 15 minutes. Just need to stick all the screws back in and then we're done. Thanks for watching.